Hey there, welcome, my name's Rodizio, and in this video I'm gonna go over the new changes in the 1.16 Nether update. I upload these sorts of videos twice a week, so if you don't want to miss out on any of those, feel free to subscribe. And with that being said, let's get straight into the video. Now, if you are one of those 10% of people who've ever actually been into the Nether before, you would agree that it looks pretty bland and that there isn't really much to do besides raiding a Nether fortress and killing a bunch of blaze or wither skeletons. But thanks to the 1.16 update, the whole Nether has been totally revamped to look like this creepy and loomy looking place with a lot of new things to be discovered. You can see that the biggest change has been the addition of these 4 new Nether biomes, being the Soul Sand Valley biome looking like this, the Crimson Forest with a bunch of these cool looking trees, the Warped Forest as a slight alteration of the previous one, and lastly the godforsaken basalt deltas resembling a kind of volcanic biome. Also, it is worth mentioning that the Nether biome, as which we used to call it, has now been renamed to be the Nether Wastes. And along with all these new Nether biomes come some pretty new and very new interesting mobs, with the first one being piglins. They look like the zombie pigmen, but effectively aren't, because zombie pigmen still exist on their own, although they've been given a new name, which is the zombified piglins. These piglins will automatically attack your player if you're in survival mode, unless you're wearing at least one piece of gold armor. And as long as you don't open any chests or shulker boxes in their close proximity, you should be totally fine. They get scared by any form of soul fire, which is the new blue fire, which I will definitely get back to a bit later on in this video. So now let's talk about hoglins. The new boar-like looking animals, they too spawn in the Crimson Forest and are a pretty good source of food if you're out on an adventuring session inside the Nether, and they drop pork chops and leather if that isn't just great. Interesting side note, however, is that these are the only breedable hostile mobs in Minecraft, and you can do that with this new Nether crop, which is called Crimson Fungus. And that just sounds like it came straight out of a Harry Potter movie. Now, hoglins too, just like piglins, are naturally hostile mobs, which basically means that they will attack your player when you come inside their range, and the way that they do that is by throwing you up in the air like a little baby, just like that. Now, I couldn't have made this list without mentioning the Striders. They are the first mob to be able to walk on lava and be totally immune to it as well. In fact, when you deprive one of these cute little looking things from their lava bath, they will start to shiver and turn this blue pale color. Now, if you don't have an Elytra, this is unfortunately going to be your go-to method for traveling in the Nether from now on. All you have to do is simply equip him with a saddle, and you can tell him where to go with a warped fungus on a stick. And yes, I think this is currently the item with the most letters to its name in the whole of Minecraft. Ooh, and I'm really fired up to talk about this next one. You get it right, fired up, because we're in the Nether. Anyway, it's this new ore called Netherite, and it's even stronger than diamonds. Yes, you heard that right, even stronger than diamonds. So for all us people who've wanted some stronger armor and tools all along, it's pretty good news, alright. Although it won't be an easy task getting your hands on some of this stuff. It's a derivative of this block called Ancient Debris, and that can only be found in the Nether, and it's even rarer than diamonds. On a more positive note though, this stuff is totally blast and fireproof, so mining for it will be a real blast, if you know what I mean. So let's say you found some of these blocks in the lower parts of the Nether. You'll then want to break it only with your diamond pickaxe, to then smelt it in any kind of furnace to get netherite scraps in return. 4 of those with 4 gold ingots will finally give you these precious netherite ingots. Then, to upgrade your armor or tools, simply craft yourself a smithing table and put in your ingots along with any diamond gear you want to upgrade. And also, the enchantments and health will stay exactly the same in this process. Phew! Finally! Now, it's probably a good time to have a closer look at these Nether forests. You can see that Mojang has added these new types of trees, and even better yet, the wood and all its products from these trees can't be set on fire whatsoever. Also, you might come across one of these bastion things, which are basically a ruined building with some pretty sweet loot to be found in them. I'm gonna be honest with you. Right, so getting back to what I mentioned earlier though, about the blue fire, it is actually called soul fire and can be made by setting soul sand or soul soil, which is pretty hard to say actually, on fire. And take a wild guess, this stuff can be found in the Soul Sand Valley. Anyway, you can make torches, campfires and even lanterns with this new cool blue effect. And while we're at it, there's this new enchantment called Soul Speed, which you can put on your boots, and this will give you this crazy fast running speed on soul sand and soul soil. You better watch out, Usain Bolt, I'm coming right after you. So yeah, that should open up some new fast traveling possibilities in the overworld. Over to the redstone section then. There's this new block that's been added which is called a target block. It basically puts out a redstone signal relative to how close to the bullseye you shot your arrow, snowballs or eggs. So if you've always wanted to practice your sniping skills, you've now no longer got an excuse. Now let's jump into the overworld real quick, because I was slowly starting to sweat from all that lava down there. No, I'm just kidding. I want to show you this new block called a lodestone, and what you can actually do with it is pretty interesting. If you take your regular old compass and right click it on this block to link up the compass with it, it will always point towards the block no matter what you do. And you can do this an infinite amount of times by linking up lots and lots of compasses with the corresponding blocks. And as a matter of fact, you can also do this in the nether and end dimension. And now that we're in overworld, let's fly up and have a look around if we can't spot anything new. Ah yes, here it is, one of the many ruined portals you will come across in your world. It's basically a half destroyed, half assembled nether portal, which you will still have to construct for it to fully function. And the developers have been pretty nice to give you everything you will need in this chest, along with some gold and some other goodies which are always a warm welcome. Alright, that was only a few of the many features this new update has in store for us, but I believe I've covered the main novelties and it's now up to you to go check out the rest. And guys, before you click away and leave, if you liked the video, don't forget to subscribe, it's totally free, but for now I'm gonna leave you guys with this new Nether diss track by Lena Raine. I'm Redizio and I'll catch you guys in the next one.